What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Bullshot Darts. So Paul Nicholson has a video online about his top 10 tips to throw good darts. And he used to be one of my favorite darts player. I used to love watching him. So I thought it would be fun to watch this video and kind of give some input along with his advice. And it's only 3.5 minutes long, so I assume it's going to be straightforward and to the point. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it.
We all know that you've got to be dedicated if you want to make it to the top. Here's the thing, lazy dart players don't get anywhere, so be dedicated and don't lie to yourself. If you're not dedicated enough, do something about it.
Okay, so I have not watched this video yet. I didn't realize how intense it was going to be. But yeah, I love the point that he made. He said, don't be lazy about it. You're not going to get better at darts if you're not dedicating yourself to get better. And that kind of goes along with just practicing darts too. If you're not dedicated to getting better in your practice and you're just lazily throwing, you're not going to get the results you want. So you have to be dedicated. And that is a great tip to start because he's basically saying right at the beginning, if you don't have the dedication, don't waste your time. So I really like that being the first tip.
The thing about practice is that it needs to be smart. If you're just mucking around with your friends, having a throw, that's having a throw. Practicing means having structure, so practice smart and not too long.
All right, I like that. Two good points there. Practice smart. We always say you have to have intention behind your practice. If you're just standing at the line with no intention, just throwing your darts, you're not going to get that much benefit. I actually struggled with this a couple years ago. I was doing too much lazy practice, and it actually hurt my darts. Because I was throwing lazy in my practice, I was throwing lazy in competition, and I was having a hard time focus. So make sure you're practicing smart, like Paul says there, and with intention. And the last thing he said, don't practice too long. We've all been there where we think the longer we stand at the board, the more practice we get, the better we're going to be for it. But sometimes over practicing is the worst. So I love this video so far.
If you want to get somewhere in this game, at some point you're going to have to sacrifice something. And I don't mean sacrificing a lamb. I mean sacrificing time with your friends, your family, sacrificing time with anybody really, and sacrificing a little bit of money as well. This game, every single professional has a story of sacrifice, so be prepared to sacrifice something.
All right, sacrifice. And he mentions two big things there, time and money. If you really want to be good at this, you're not going to be able to hang out with your friends every single time they get together. You're not going to be able to get to every function, family function, all that stuff that you want to. I miss plenty of certain things in my life for darts tournaments, you know, sometimes some birthdays or other gatherings. But the thing is, I'm dedicated to the game. I want to get better. It is my dream and passion to throw and travel for darts. So sacrifice is huge. And the second thing that he said there, sacrifice money. It is going to be important for you to get out and throw darts. You're going to have to pay money for travel, pay money for entry fees, maybe hotel rooms, depending where the tournaments are. And it can sometimes get expensive. But once again, going back to number one, if you're dedicated and you get better, it'll pay itself off. And maybe you'll find yourself either, you know, basically having free darts trips because you're winning enough money to pay for it. Or maybe you'll find yourself making money. So yeah, you do have to sacrifice money sometimes, but that's just part of the game. You'll get better at those tournaments that you spend money to go play.
Professional sport is not just about how much hard work you put in. It's sometimes about the amount of rest that you get. Rest is just as important as the hard work you put in, so make sure that you get plenty of it.
I love it. There's really not much else to say there. Straight to the point. You guys need to have rest. If you're practicing every day and all that stuff, you could find yourself over practicing. And yeah, just sometimes you need a break. So make sure you are getting your rest. I like that he said that. I don't talk about that enough.
In darts, we are surrounded by negative people. We are also surrounded by lots of positive people. Make sure that you surround yourself with the positive ones. But if one of the negative ones gets you down, prove them wrong.
Oh, that is what. Okay. I don't know the rest of the tips, but that might be my favorite tip right there. I call this having a darts nemesis. And that is someone in the game of darts that drives you to practice more because you want to beat them and prove them wrong. Either beat them on the dartboard or prove them wrong by winning other things on the dartboard. That might be my favorite tip. So awesome. Positivity is good, but sometimes having those negative people to prove them wrong is a better driving force.
Adrenaline can be your best friend on the oche. Use it when you need it. If you need to let out a scream, do it. If you don't need to in the midst of the game, don't do it. Use it smartly because it can really help you.
I love that. There's some times where I'm playing darts and I'll hit a big shot and I don't react at all. I walk to the dartboard, I grab my darts, and I keep playing because I just don't feel it in the moment. But when I have a lot of adrenaline going and I hit a big shot, I'm not obnoxious. There's a difference between being completely obnoxious and just, getting into it a little bit and having a little bit more intensity. And I love that. Never force the intensity. Always do what feels right.
No matter where you are, where you're playing, who you're playing against, be humble. Forget about all of the star-studded things that you want at certain points. You've got to be humble. Be a full Glenn Durrant and just remember that this is a very humble sport. Don't be too big for your boots because you'll be put down pretty quickly if you come up against the wrong person. Just be honest and be humble.
I was just going to say, he was saying be humble. And if you are not being humble, there's always going to be someone at a darts tournament to humble you. I like that. Oh, wow. I like this. Use social media.
Who doesn't love a bit of social media? We all love Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. The thing is, you've got to use it properly. So if you're going to be making a name for yourself on the dartboard or on social media, you've got to use it right. Don't swear, be nice, and don't be negative.
I love that because obviously I use social media. I have a darts YouTube channel, and the only thing I put on social media is darts. I don't share any of my personal life on social media, and the only reason I have my darts social media is to help just promote myself and further myself in the sport. And like you said, you have to be smart with it. Don't use social media to cause drama or be negative. Always spread positivity. Share your darts wins. Share your darts focuses. Help grow the sport with your social media. And yeah, like you said, there's no reason to be swearing or acting all crazy. Represent yourself in a positive way. I like that.
You have to continually test yourself in this sport. Whether it's in practice or against another opponent,
Love it.
you have to seek out people who you think are better than you. If it's in a practice game, make it as hard as possible. Continually test yourself.
I talk about that all the time. You're only going to be as good as the players that you play. So if you're playing lower level players all the time and just always winning, you're not going to grow. You're not going to get better. You have to go find better competition because that's what's going to force you to become a better darts player. And I like how he said that in practice too, because you can challenge yourself in practice with certain games that you play, adding pressure on yourself in practice. So you need to make sure you are always challenging yourself in order to get better.
In my opinion, you have to have a motivational figure in your life. Whether it's someone who is alive or has passed away, whether they're real or fictional. You have to have someone who motivates you to do the best, not just in darts, but in your life.
All right, looks like that's the last tip because some music playing. So he's talking about having someone motivational, not just in darts, in life. So he's ending this on not just a darts note, but a life note. And I like to think that a lot of my darts videos, I obviously am talking about darts, but I really hope that a lot of my advice and tips can also be brought into just your everyday life. So I like that he brought that into there and having a motivational figure. You always need some kind of motivation, whether it's that darts nemesis that you want to prove wrong, whether it's a loved one in your life that you want to make proud, or anything like that. it's so important to have the motivation, because if you don't have the motivation, it's going to be harder to find dedication. It's just going to make all these other tips harder. So that was an awesome video. Oh, that's kind of a funny. Let's see if I can find a. There we go. Fun video. I liked watching that. I hope you guys got something of value from that. I'm going to look around here and see if Paul's got more videos. I think he's kind of got a series on here, so I might go check out some of the other ones. But that's it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new, make sure to hit that subscribe button, drop the video a thumbs up, share it if you found it useful. I'll see you guys in the next one, and shoot well.